What if everything you thought you knew about garden mulch was wrong? Experts warn against this one type, claiming it's a disaster for your plants. But what if those warnings are hiding a secret, a genius hack that could transform your garden from struggling to thriving? Gardeners everywhere have been told to avoid this mulch at all costs, yet when used wisely, it can explode your harvest in ways you never imagined. The mulch everyone loves to hate. Among the many mulches available, straw, compost, shredded bark, one has been repeatedly criticized and nearly banned in gardening circles: fresh wood chips. The warnings are clear and loud. We're told they rob nitrogen from the soil, attract pests like termites, encourage disease, and even smother delicate plants. Many gardeners won't even consider putting them near their vegetable beds. At first glance, the warnings seem convincing. But here's the twist. Some of the world's most vibrant and fertile gardens thrive under a thick blanket of fresh wood chips. So, is the negative reputation justified, or have we been misled by half-truths? Why experts sound the alarm? The skepticism surrounding wood chips mostly comes down to three big fears. First is nitrogen depletion. Freshly chipped wood is high in carbon, and when it begins to break down, soil microbes require nitrogen to do the work. This has led to the belief that using wood chips steals vital nitrogen away from plants, leaving them stunted and yellow. The second concern is pests. Since wood chips come directly from trees, critics argue that they can attract termites, carpenter ants, and even harbor fungal diseases that might infect your crops. The third is simply appearance and practicality. Gardeners say that chips look messy, break down unevenly, and can take years to fully decompose, making them an unreliable mulch choice. Taken together, these arguments seem like a strong case against using them. And yet, when we look closer, the story isn't so simple. The hidden genius of wood chip mulch. The truth is that wood chips, when used properly, are one of the most powerful mulches you can lay on your soil. Far from depleting nutrients, wood chips can build soil health in ways few other mulches can. As they decompose, they don't just feed plants directly, they feed fungal networks that create a living web beneath the soil. These fungal hyphae connect plant roots, helping them exchange nutrients, water, and even defense signals against pests. In other words, the very thing experts warn about, chips breaking down slowly, is exactly why they're so valuable. They provide a long-term steady release of nutrients instead of a quick burst. Moisture retention is another hidden benefit. A 4-inch layer of chips locks in soil moisture far better than straw or compost, reducing the need for constant watering. In hot summers, this can mean the difference between wilted plants and thriving ones. At the same time, the chips regulate soil temperature, keeping roots cooler in scorching heat and warmer in cold snaps. Even pests and disease are not as black and white as critics claim. While chips can harbor fungi, many of those fungi are beneficial, protecting plants by outcompeting harmful pathogens, and studies show that wood chip mulches actually reduce weed pressure dramatically, cutting down hours of back-breaking weeding. How to use wood chips the right way? The key is not to throw caution to the wind, but to use wood chips with intention. The most common mistake gardeners make is mixing fresh chips directly into the soil. This is where nitrogen tie-up becomes a real problem. Instead, wood chips should always sit on top of the soil as a protective blanket. When used this way, the soil microbes pull nitrogen only from the thin surface layer where decomposition is happening, not from the root zone where plants are feeding. Depth also matters. A 2-inch layer won't do much, while more than 6 inches can suffocate young seedlings. Aim for 3 to 4 inches in vegetable beds and up to 6 inches around fruit trees or perennial shrubs. Keep the mulch a few inches away from the plant stem or tree trunk to avoid excess moisture buildup that can encourage rot. Timing is another overlooked factor. Applying wood chips in the fall gives them months to settle and begin breaking down before the planting season begins. By spring, your soil will already be alive with beneficial fungi and improved structure. If nitrogen depletion still worries you, a simple solution is to sprinkle a layer of nitrogen-rich material beneath the chips, something like grass clippings, composted manure, or even diluted fish emulsion. A balanced dilution for fish emulsion would be 1 tablespoon per gallon of water poured over the soil before mulching. This ensures there's ample nitrogen available as decomposition begins. When to think twice about wood chips. It's true that wood chips aren't perfect for every situation. They're not ideal for fast-growing crops that rely on immediate nutrient boosts, like lettuce or radishes. They also shouldn't be used as the primary medium in seed-starting beds or containers. And if you live in a termite-prone area, keeping fresh chips right up against your home's foundation is a bad idea. But for garden beds, orchard rows, and pathways, their long-term benefits far outweigh the risks. My verdict on the mulch controversy. So should you use fresh wood chips in your garden? Absolutely, but with care. When placed as a surface mulch in the right depth and season, they transform ordinary soil into a thriving ecosystem. They build fertility slowly and steadily, nurture fungal allies, protect against weeds, and keep moisture where your plants need it most. Far from being a disaster, this so-called banned mulch can be one of the smartest choices you'll ever make. The real lesson here is that gardening wisdom isn't always set in stone. Sometimes what looks like a danger is actually a hidden advantage waiting to be unlocked. The best way to know for sure? Test it yourself. Try a section of your garden with wood chip mulch this season and watch what happens. If this breakdown gave you new insight into the mulch controversy, make sure to subscribe to Soil and Crops Central for more deep dives into soil secrets and proven gardening strategies. And don't forget to share this with a fellow gardener, because the best harvests come when we grow together.